Katie here on a rare Friday evening post. But I had to share with you what a day I had. Boy, the advocate Katie had to come out in spades. Um, I suppose I ended up with good news, so all's well that ends well. But I have to tell you, ladies, I recently posted on my page a video by Dr. Jen Simmons talking about how the industry literally twists our arm to get mammograms. And yeah, so it's funny, not funny, but when I scheduled to get, I needed a ultrasound of my armpits to check out some activity that seemed to be going on in my lymph nodes when they're swollen. And again, your lymph nodes are your trash collector system. So as people that have had breast cancer, myself having had it twice, we get alarmed by these things. It could be anything, right? Your lymph nodes are supposed to get swollen when they are taking out the garbage, right? They get big and so it's not unusual, but of course, when you've had breast cancer, it could mean something not so great. So anyway, I went to my doctor as a good little patient, and she agreed that I needed to have an ultrasound of my lymph nodes under my armpits. So she put the order in with my imaging place that I've been going to for years, and when I called the schedule, of course, they actually bug you now, like schedule, schedule, schedule. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm scheduling. She proceeds to tell me how she can't schedule it until I schedule a mammogram. So I had to calmly explain to her, no, honey, I've had a double mastectomy and I have implants in. So I will not and cannot and should not get a mammogram. And you should know that because you have all my records in front of you. Also to say that I had to go through some stuff with her, and finally she agreed to book the appointment. So my appointment's booked for today. This morning I wake up to a text and a message that they have canceled my appointment because they had reached out to my doctor and she had not yet got back to them with an order for my mammogram, and I must have a mammogram before my ultrasound. Yeah, no. So needless to say, I called them and gave them yeah, a piece of my mind, which wasn't pretty because I don't usually get angry, but I was angry. Like, this is ridiculous. Why is the same thing insurance companies do? They come between you and your doctor. Your doctor and you know what you need and want, and that is what you should get. So I have to tell you, ladies, in other instances now, in my instance, I knew I couldn't and shouldn't and wouldn't get a mammogram. But other people are all like, oh, okay, I need to get a mammogram. All right, I'll get a mammogram. Well, I will tell you, there's no reason, well, not no reason, I won't say that, but like they're two different separate things, right? Like ultrasounding your armpit is not the same thing as ultrasounding even your breast. So it is just wrong for these companies to just add tests on, which is what they do, right? They want to make more money, and it's like, oh, this way we can get two for one. No, and I teach, of course, some of the dangers of the M word. So you are within your rights if you don't want one, or you don't need one. So I'm just here to tell you that when that little birdie or whatever that little voice in your head says, wait a minute, this doesn't sound right, or I don't need this, or my doctor didn't order this, that yeah, you should be like, you should perk up and know that what you and your doctor want is what you should get, because you are the client. At the end of the day, you are the client. Um, so the celebration is, the good news is I did get my ultrasound today, and she said my lymph nodes look completely normal. Yay! Woohoo! That's a huge relief for me, and yay! So that also means I don't need to go to the next step, which would have been an MRI. So yeah, all good information to have, but you wouldn't believe like what you have to go through to get it sometimes. And it is a little annoying. I will say the other thing is they all make you fill out their forms like 10 million times. And I'm like, you have all my health history. You have all this data. Why do you need it again? Why do I have to sit here for 10 minutes and fill out all these forms? And they couldn't really answer me other than that that's what I just had to do. I'm sorry, that's the way it is. What? So there's a lot of inefficiencies of the system. There's a lot of things that are not right. And at the end of the day, you have to brush it off and, like, okay, if that's what it took to get the appointment, to get it done, I filled out the paperwork yet again. I've only done it 10 million times. Well, not 10 million times, but a lot of times. But anyway, I just had to share this experience with you today because I just want you to know, I'm walking, as I've always said, right alongside you. I am probably further down the path than you because I've been on this path for 14 years. And even more than being a patient, this is what I do professionally. I'm an advocate, so I spend all my time researching this stuff and learning about it. But the reality is, I am also, in your shoes, which is why I forget sometimes to share my experiences and my fears and my doubts. Because of course, when if you start feeling really swollen things under your armpits and it starts hurting, and I mean, you should take note of that. Don't be like, oh, whatever. No, you should look into it. And I teach all about, like, what if your lymph nodes are swollen? Then what do you do? How do you deal with inflammation naturally? So, if you want to learn more about that, make sure you're following me. Get on my email list, and or consult with me, so I can definitely help you with that. Or if you need help, getting advocating. I have actually. I actually do this as one of my services where I will be on the phone when you go with you to your doctor, so I can help ask questions, because a lot of times, people are very intimidated by their doctors or by radiologists or by imaging places or by insurance or whatever. I've dealt with it all. I can handle it. So if you need help, reach out. I'm here to help you and guide you. And hopefully, you don't have the experience that I have today, and hopefully, they treat you well. But if they don't, just know that this is part of the course. This too shall pass, and move on. But remember, advocate, 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 and you are the client. All right, take care, everyone. Have a fabulous Friday or Saturday, what it is, whatever it is for you now. But have a great weekend, and I'll see you again maybe Self Care Sunday.